Okay, we're in my shipyard right now and I'm going to look at a fleet that is demonstrating the problem that I want to show. Right, the flagship is a Grimshine's Berserker, and if we just take a look at it, right, its main weapons are the D104S siege launchers. They've got a range of 91. Now that's the key point, they've got a range of 91. Forget their secondary weapons, which have got shorter ranges. Okay, the 68 on the magma thrower and the 55 for the primary weapon on the trident are irrelevant to this. It's not mixed weapons on a ship that are demonstrating the problem. It's when you've got mixed weapon ranges in a fleet that are demonstrating the problem. Now there's nothing on here to extend the range of the launcher. So the launcher range is 91. That's it. Right. Let's have a look at one of the other ships in the fleet. These are my Kodiak Torrents. And the base range on a Torrent missile is 62. But I've got the Missile System 3 on it, which is adding 25% range, giving a total of 77.5. So these are shorter range than the 91 on the Grimshine. So let's just get this fleet on the water and find a target that demonstrates the problem that I want to show you. This is one that surfaced following the update on the week of the 5th of April, the week before the Defiance event started. Okay, I'm looking for a low-level weekly mission base because I want static targets to demonstrate this problem. It's no use going against a salvage fleet because they move around too much. There's a 47 down there. I'd prefer to do it in a 40. There's not one there. Let's have a look at it then. Okay, so let's go get this 47. And I'm going to go in from a different angle to where I normally go in, just because it'll let us see exactly where the problem lies. And these aren't the quickest ships in my dock, but they'll be down there in half a minute or so. And one of the things I have noticed since the Defiance raid is that there is a drastic shortage of low-level targets for the low-level players in the Forsaken missions. Where have all the 27s and the 40s gone? They've just completely disappeared. There's maybe 2 40s in this entire sector. Okay, in we go. And let's just join the battle. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, up arrow to select all the ships, down arrow to make them stand still. Let's go, and I'll just group them all up nice and tight, and we'll let those DNXs get to wherever they're going. Right, now the first thing that you notice, 4 ships are showing this outer range circle, 1 ship is showing the inner range circle. Now that's reversed because the single Grimshine has got the longer range and the 4 Kodiaks have got the shorter range. So let's just tidy up their placement a bit. There we go, look, right. 1 on the inner range, which is the 77.5 for the Torrents on the Kodiaks, but 4 on the outer range, which is the 92 for the launcher on the Grimshine. That's wrong, it's the wrong way about. So let's target that gun and watch what happens. And as you can see here, it's got the 4 Kodiaks are staying behind the single Grim. Watch. Right, the Grim's got the longer range. It should be at the back and the 4 Kodiaks should be in front. But it hasn't. The 4 Kodiaks with the shorter range have stopped at the range of the Grimshine, and the Grimshine with the longer range has stopped at the range of the torrents on the Kodiak. Now, the Kodiaks are not firing at all, and meanwhile the Grim is taking damage. And it shouldn't be. It should be the Kodiaks that are fielding the damage. So let's just move in a little bit more. I'm going to target the missile launcher at the back of the cluster and see if we can get the Kodiaks to fire at the ones at the front. Nope. The Grimshine's firing, the Kodiaks are not. So let's just change, and we'll take out this DNX here, and what we'll do is we'll deliberately move everything most definitely into range. And what you'll see in a second is you'll see those Kodiaks open up. There we go. Right. Now let's do that again on this torpedo tower. Right. Remember, this circle which is coming off the Grimshine should be the Kodiak's range circle, and this range circle which is coming off the Kodiaks should be the Grimshine range circle. So let's just move them in and they'll stop, and the only thing that'll shoot will be the Grimshine. There you go. Right. Let's try it on that DNX. There again, only the Grimshine is shooting, which is nonsense. And as soon as I do something like this and just move them all into range, as soon as the Kodiaks get within their true range, they start shooting. So the indicated circle is correct, but the Kodiaks are not automatically moving into range. They're staying at this extended range, which is false. So, you know, I'm taking a lot of damage here, a lot more than I normally would, killing a level 47, but this is to demonstrate the point. Now, look at the range on this torpedo tower. That's well over 100, which is, come on Kixeye, play the game fair. Right, now let's move them in on that torpedo tower. They're slightly separated, and what will happen is the Grimshine moves into the Kodiak's actual range and starts shooting. The Kodiaks stay at the Grimshine's actual range and can't shoot. So if I just move one of them forward, oh, wrong one. Right, try that again. We'll take just a Kodiak and we'll go and shoot these towers. Right, so we'll go and shoot this tower. Watch, just a single Kodiak coming down. And my god, these things are slow. So, you know, got all these missiles coming in. I think what I'll do is I'll just move the others up to provide a bit of readiness. Now look, the Kodiak has stopped on what should be its maximum range according to the white ring around it, according to this ring, but it's not shooting at all because it's out of range. Its actual range means that it should be about there. Move it in, not quite, a bit more, there we are, started shooting. Now look how far beyond that first turret this white circle is. The game is calculating that this white circle is the range of the Kodiak before it can open fire, but as we've just demonstrated, it has to move a lot closer before it will do. There is something broken when fleets have got mixed weapons. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take them out, and I'm going to retreat and park on this target, and then I'm going to bring in a fleet that's got identical weapons, and we'll see the difference. The big problem with this inaccurate range circles showing on the ships is that I took humongous damage during the Defiance raid, and it cost me a lot of points because of fleets getting killed while they were autoing targets, and also I had to spend a fortune in coins to repair them. Now, I've spoken to Kixeye, and I've been emailing backwards and forwards between their support and myself, and they just flat out deny that there is a problem. So I'm going to bring out two fleets, one again showing mixed weapon ranges and one with uniform weapons. So again, this lag in and out of base, it has been a constant problem in the game since I started playing 4 years ago. It is terrible, and it's the only Kixeye games, they're the only ones that do it. So, again, Kixeye, developers, get your fingers out and fix those loading delays. Okay, fleets, what am I going to take out now? Well, I'm going to take out this one, right? We've got a Highlanders on here, which is loaded with the siege launchers with a 91 range, and we've also got a bunch of these V2Cs with mixed siege and assault launchers, again all with 91 range. So we're going to take that one out, and just for a laugh and a giggle, we're going to take out this mixed DNX Triton fleet. Now, the DNXs have got assault mortars, that's the Qs, with an 85 range, and they've got nothing on them that extends the range, so it's a raw 85 range. This Triton has got the Q mortars as well, and this one has got, you'll notice, a single UAV with a 97 range. So you're going to find this one quite interesting. So we'll launch those two fleets and we'll go off to the map, and we'll bring them both down to that 47, wherever it's gone, hiding. There it is. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put the V2C there, and we'll send in the DNX Tritons first. We'll put them here. And again, this is just, slow fleets take a while to get there. So while the DNXs turn up, I'll be able to show you what the V2Cs do when they all have at least one of the same weapon on each ship. So let's just send this in first. Attack the outpost. And of course, I'm going to take extra damage here because I'm demonstrating a point. Normally I would not take anywhere near this level of damage. Okay, select all the ships with the up arrow, tell them to stop with the down arrow. Let's go, and just group them up. And you can see they've all got exactly the same range. Just tidy the grouping up a little bit. Yeah, no variation in the range on them because they've all got at least one of the same weapon. Just wait for these DNXs to stop messing about. Right, and we're going to target that DNX, and you will see that they all fire. That there is no ship that does not fire. The Highlanders is a little slower than the V2Cs, which is why it was lagging behind there. There they are. They're all shooting away. Now let's just demonstrate that a little bit better. What I'm going to do, look at these torpedoes. Look how far away I am, and these torpedoes are still firing. Right, so we'll leave the Highlander there. We'll move one of the V2s there. We'll move another V2 there. We'll move one there, and we'll move the other out there. Right, basically what I'm wanting to do here, as because I'm wanting to demonstrate that they'll all fire when their range circle hits that torpedo tower. Right, so the Highlander might be a little behind here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send it out and turn it round so that it's actually facing the torpedo tower, because it is a little slower than the V2s. Right, so here we go. Now, if you watch, all 5 ships will fire as their range circles touch the torpedo tower. There we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so they're all doing it. Right, the range is correct on all of them. So we leave some targets in there. Send that one home. Right, bring in the DNXs and we're going to target that first torpedo tower. Or that last torpedo tower, I should say. Okay, same again. Select all the ships. Tell them to stop. Let's get started and we'll pull them into a group. And the first thing that you notice is that we've got these 2 massive range differences. Right, so let's just find the Triton. That's the Triton with the Hornet UAV, right, in that outer range circle. So the other Triton does not have that Hornet UAV. It has the Shockwave mortars, but it's showing exactly the same range as the Triton with the longer range UAV, right? So somewhere the coding is saying, oh look, there's a Triton with a UAV with a 98 range, and here's a Triton with the Q mortars with an 87 range or an 85 range, I've forgotten. Let's just make those mortars have or display the same range as the UAV, even though there's more than 10 difference in the range. Now if we look at the Dreadnoughts, right, there's the range on the Dreadnoughts, and all 3 of them with the Q mortar are showing that range. Leave the mouse where it is. There's the range on the Hornet. You can see how much longer it is, and the Triton with the same mortars as the DNXs should be showing a range circle where the mouse is. Whoops. Sorry about that, didn't mean to move them. Now, you know, come on Kixeye, this is basic. At least get the range circles to show what the ship's range is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the Tritons out to the sides so that you can see when they fire. Because of the speed difference, I'm just going to turn them into the target a bit. And then we'll send all 5 ships after that DNX. Now, remember, that one's got the mortars. That one should start firing at the same range as the DNXs. And look, the DNX isn't firing yet, and the Triton has stopped. Now, you know, that's the anti-missiles kicking in. There we are. The Tritons are now firing. So if I move this Triton in and I bring it to about here, maybe a little closer, it should start firing. No, bring it in a little. Well, it's now firing at the torpedo tower. So what we'll do is we'll leave that there. Now, this one's got the UAV. Let's bring it in. Oh, too late. Right. Okay, we'll bring them down here and we'll do this corner tower. We'll demonstrate the same thing again. We'll just bring them down like this, and you can see the two Triton range circles are way out here. The DNXs are here, and this Triton should have the same range circle as the DNXs. So we'll send them all against that tower. Look, you can see just by where the game is sending them to how far off the ranging is. There we are, the DNXs start firing. Let's just get onto this one. Let's tell him to fire at that one. He doesn't move. Let's bring him in alongside the DNXs. And he still didn't fire. Okay, let's just finish this target off. And as they go in, you know, I'm just going to leave them on automatic. You can watch who shoots and who doesn't. Right? Now, according to the range circle, that lead Triton should be shooting now, and it's not, obviously. Even the DNXs are not shooting, but watch what happens when the DNXs get there. They're shooting, and finally the Triton starts to shoot, and you can finally see the UAVs going in. There is something completely and utterly banjaxed in the game code, because when you've got fleets with mixed weapon ranges like this, then the ships are just not activating at the required firing range, and they're not even displaying the correct firing range. So, Kixeye, you've got a major problem. You screwed it up royally in the update before the Defiance raid in far more ways than you've admitted to in the forums, and the worst thing is, I don't think many players have spotted this problem, because the forums are not lit up with all the issues about it, and I expected to see dozens of threads about it. Now, remember, I'm making this video on the instruction of Kixeye customer support. So I'm going to bring these fleets back into port. We're going to go to the dock, and we're going to see just how much damage I have received in order to make this video and demonstrate the problem. And Kixeye, you owe me the coins or the Forsaken mission points for the time that it's taken and the damage that I've taken. Let's just be unequivocal about that. You owe me for making a video to demonstrate your cock-up. Just wait for the lag to get us into base. Watch the timer. About 15 seconds to go from the world map into base. Let's just go to dock. Okay, so the first fleet that I sent out to demonstrate the problem was this one. I've got 3 hours and call it 7 minutes repair to do on it. I then sent out this one to demonstrate that when all the ships have at least one of the same weapon, then the range problem does not happen. I've got 18 minutes repair on that. And this one, which again is mixed weapons and demonstrated the problem perfectly, not just on ships with different weapons. This one's got the UAV, this one's got the mortars, the same hull, but also when the hull is different. Right? This one's got the same weapons as this one. This one's got the UAV, but this one was made to play with the greater range of the UAV, meaning its weapons did not come into play. That one's got 4 hours repair. Right, I'm already repairing this one, or I was, which, yeah, you see? Now I started the repair on this one about 2 hours ago, and it hasn't finished. Let's start it again. Now this screen is really bugging me. It's quite quick there, but during the event it was taking up to 40 seconds to clear that, and quite often ended in an SOS crash, and I then had to refresh the game, and that cost me shitloads of time during the event, and it's costing me it during the Forsaken mission as well. So in total, Kixeye, 4 hours repair there, 3 and a bit hours there, and a bit there. So that's 7.5 hours repair that you owe me just making this video to demonstrate this range problem when ships of the same type are fitted with different weapons, and when ships of different types within a fleet are also fitted with different weapons. The range circles are wrong, and the firing point trigger on automatic approach to a target is wrong, and ships are not firing, and players are taking far more damage than they should do. So, over to you, Kixeye. Let's see what you say.